YouTube. You've read this, you've looked at this thumbnail, you've read the title, and you're probably asking, you normally don't talk about these things. Why you brought it up? I consider myself a decent person. I consider myself virtuous in the idea of defending others. My purest joy is seeing others succeed. While I do struggle because of that, I know that the mark I leave on this earth will matter and have ripples that affect other people in more positive ways. It is because of that I don't have negativity as a driver in my life unless provoked first. Obviously, I don't go out looking to start problems. I make sure everybody's good. A lot of people have made videos about whether or not men in a certain society, in a certain community, have the ability to empathize with the idea that women generally in certain spaces don't have a seat at the table, or the seat that they're at is at the kiddie table. It is then perpetuated through systemic barriers. One that is easy to come to mind is the difference between the WNBA and the NBA. In terms of payment, in terms of play style, everything. You can have your opinions, but most people just have the assumption that women aren't that good. People do not dispute Raphael. People don't think of Nadal the way they do of Serena Williams. Everything she says is a political statement. Oh, I was thinking about Roger Federer. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, but no, still Nadal. People don't think of Nadal the way they do of Serena Williams. People don't think of Jackie Robinson the way people think about the movie A League of Their Own. People don't think about black women the way they do about black men. People don't think of white women the way they think of white men. There are definitely barriers between men and women that are superimposed by our culture. And that's the way it's always been. Quick etymology. Do you know why that is? The country was founded on war and separation. You will hear this constantly referenced in rap music, but you probably won't notice it. What does that have to do with the topic? What does any of this have to do with the topic of today's video? I feel as though we make this assumption in places that it should be equal. And as my chat has gotten ahead of me yet again, which is great, which means, you know what? That means we vibing. You know that? Oh yes, that means we vibing. That means we vibing. That's perfect. I love that. You in the mindset of what I'm trying to get at, which is good. And that's a mental note to me. I'll probably watch this back and say, hey, look, you had a moment where you realized people were listening. You're always listening. I feel like the pressure of anonymity brought about a strive for greatness. Nobody knew who New Master 69 was. Nobody knew who Aslan Arsh was until he won Evo. Aslan. You can talk a lot about Evo Moment 37 to people, but it's really hard to find moments like that for women. by design. Those are boys' games. Only boys could sit there and shoot people all day. We want to dance. Misconceptions about where you fall in line. Things that you hope for to progress forward. And in your head, you've learned enough to progress in that direction, so you naturally assume everyone else around you should have that level of understanding. At least that level of understanding. There are large creators in this space that do not have that understanding. And the problem that I'm foreseeing is that we are just going to repeat the ideals that women are less than men in areas where that difference in your idea of gender doesn't have to, nor does it exist. But the more you tell people that, the more likely you're going to run into somebody who believes that. Oh, don't worry, sweetie, I've got it. You see how these things are intersectional? Do you want to make this woman cry? Is this what this is about? Is this a power play? Is this a fantasy for you? Is this where now, and like, I'm not even remotely, like, this video probably ain't even ever going to get seen by enough people. It's going to get reiterated by 80 different people with much larger audiences, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But is it the point where now I got to step in and say, hey, yo, hold on. Check that shit at the door. Now I got to be the father. Because for some reason I'm younger than y'all, or at least in your age bracket, and somehow I've got this understanding that keeps me and the people around me at peace, but you're willing to take a large group of people and set them on someone and then play victim? I wonder if you would do that in a one-on-one situation. Set yourself on some... You see how these things are intersectional? I shouldn't have to have these thoughts. The burden shouldn't be on me. I'm not large enough yet. But now the burden is on each and every one of us to carry a set of morals and live by those examples, as opposed to being low key and just existing for yourself. No, we are popularizing being an asshole. Women's rights is a men's issue. But you're just a soy boy. You want to be a feminist so all the girls will like you. You know how many times that was said to me before I even started this platform? You are not going to play me. Where's your citations? Let's take a look at how many people get assaulted yearly. Let's take a look at the people in position. We just talked about Josh Duggar. Be a white man and get protected from that. Lord, let it be a woman. Oh, I wish that was me, bro. Yeah, you wish to get raped? You wish you was raped when you were a teenager? That's crazy. Look into that. Look into that, please. These things, whether you haven't experienced them or not, are out there on the internet for you to find. We get mad at right-wingers for doing their own research, but like, we don't even take the time to look at other people and how they live in certain situations. You don't got no empathy. You approach people on you approach people on demon time. You approach people on demon time. Just for the sake of not having it on the screen, but yeah, my mod would have done that. So I'm just letting you know. We got to get rid of that word in the allotted words anyway. I thought she did that last time, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like, and it's like, I talk about this. About this robotic drive to I can't wait for the algorithm to pick me up, can't wait to be partner, can't wait to have more people to stand around because I think I have something worthy of saying. What this is telling me, this situation is telling me that what I believe I have worth to say is not actually worth anything. It reinforces a belief that people wouldn't even agree with at this point. So I, how do I, how do I make you realize that this and me are the same? Because somebody like Pokimane can't have that identity. But where's the Hassan hate? Oh, you don't associate him with that type of behavior. You don't associate Pokimane with being deserving of any of that either, but yet you going after her. To the point where people are noticing it. To the point where it's becoming your lifestyle. This is what I'm gonna do. And if they don't like that, it don't matter. Bring back my mans. I can't believe you got him banned. Like, do your own research, right? Make your own predictions, make your own feelings, right? Nobody's telling you what to do. You're a grown adult. Use the internet. Come correct. Because you think you won't get smacked in your mouth. Oh, goes right back to what I said. Anonymity. The ideology of anonymity gave rise to competitiveness, to strive to be the greatest so people will know who you are. It's real easy to sit at home like I'm doing now and profess that I am better than everyone. I will never have to go out and ever prove that. I could live like that and I can die like that. So in what part of this situation is this person that you're harassing at fault for this? They didn't participate in the action. They were separated by literal screens in which, therefore, she would have had to have initiated some type of contact with said person, and she didn't. It just happened to her, and then... Is this an extension of that culture? Can we really pry deep enough down into this thought to ask that question? Are we ready to ask that question with all the resources that we have available at our disposal, and because of the coronavirus, the time to be able to look at it? Or did the culture of the outside that we kind of shunned away because, you know, we got to act a certain way in certain places, did we just take the underlying concepts and apply that to where we were finally meeting? I could finally tell this bitch what I've been dying to tell her, because you ain't gonna see me. We ain't coming outside. And for some people, they don't like that. For some people, it's too much. For some people, they think they're better than everyone else. And for some reason, that turns them into monsters. Anonymity turns people into monsters because you don't have to act a certain way. You would hate if it happened to you. As Tay-Rock said, he's always talking about what they would have did till they the ones that it happened to. Factual.